Hello, my name is Ali and welcome to my channel. We are back with Hakuoki Kyoto wins Toudou's route. Let's go. His voice was still warm, but his words were cold, and I began to feel my chances at life slip away. Staying quiet is easy, but if you were captured, you would have no loyalty to us or our secrets. Yeah, we have no way of verifying your word. It wouldn't be very smart just to let you go. Let's just kill the kid. You want to keep someone quiet? That's the only sure way. But...
Don't be so cold, Soji. What do we gain by murdering a civilian?
Oh, don't give me that look. I was just kidding. Perhaps it should have sounded like it. After being rebuked by Saito, Okita gave a playful smile.
But surely there must be something we can do. After all, we're talking about a child.
I've no wish to kill him either, but ignoring the unlikelihood of his trustworthiness is foolish. Well, I would like to hear the commander's opinion. What do you say, Commander Hijikata?
The men looked to Hijikata, listening intently. He sighed and glanced around the room. Last night we killed members who broke our code. This kid should not have been involved at all.
I imagine that puts an end to the matter for you.
Well, he probably saw something, but I doubt he really understands what it was.
Even so, this is serious. We have bigger things to consider. We have to keep this under wraps. If rumors break that soldiers of the Shinsengumi are thirsty for blood, it would be problematic.
Shinpachi's words made sense to everyone. Hijikata's face looked grim. Hey, watch your mouth. It is our responsibility to regulate all warriors who violate our code. They will be dealt with. Well, it doesn't change the fact that this kid saw something. I think Soji has a point, but still, I'll do whatever Hijikata and Kondo tell me to. I think we ought to let him go. He doesn't know everything, you know. What do you mean, everything? I have to say, sometimes I feel she's stupid. It's like, if they don't want you to know something, don't question it, because then they're really going to get at you like, oh, you want to know? I couldn't help but wonder aloud, and the mood in the room shifted to an icy silence. Shut up, Heisuke. Oops, my bad. Uh-oh. Well, this is going to make it even harder for us to simply let you go.
A man should always be ready to face death. You should make your peace with yours.
A man? Oh, that's right. They still believed me to be a boy. With everything else that had happened, I'd completely forgotten how I was dressed. Very true. A brave death is always an option. When I was young, I committed honorable suicide.
It didn't really stick though, did it, Sano?
Their jokes were barbaric, but they both broke into raucous, I guess that's the word, laughter. Commander, since we can't seem to reach a consensus, can I send the child back to his room? If you hear something you shouldn't while you're here, then we'll have no choice but to kill you. He was right. If I remained with them, then I could easily hear something I wasn't supposed to. I didn't think he'd mention it for my sake, but rather as a possible concern for their group. I was still relieved when he'd brought it up. Indeed, let's do that. Plus, there's something I want to look into.
I agree. There are too many careless men here.
Come on, Sana.
Sana? What the frick did I just say? Sanan.
What are you looking at me for?
That ought to be pretty obvious. We're all guilty of being careless. Especially you, Heisuke. Hey, back off. It was just a mistake, all right? I could hear Todo's voice rise as everyone turned to look at him. He looked at them for a bit, then turned to me and mumbled in a voice I can barely hear. I'm sorry. I was still apprehensive about what they might do to me, so I couldn't quite respond to him well. but he seemed to understand, and I curtly managed to nod. It was the most I could manage.
All right, Saito, take care of the kid. It makes it sound like he's going to kill us. Noted. Shall we go?
All right.
Oh my goodness.
After returning to my room, I'd spent some time reflecting upon my state and my still bound hands. The rumors spoke of the Shinsengumi as vicious men, but they seemed more intimate, human to me. Still, their presence or their being lingered through me, as if to say, we are not killers, but to protect our code, we must bring death. Remaining here is only bringing me closer to the possibility of them killing me. I don't know if I can convince them to spare me. Just as I have no loyalty to them, they have no loyalty to me. Only the Shinsengumi. But then, they mentioned a man must always be ready to face death. So are they still mistaking me for a man? Could I possibly risk exposing my true identity in exchange for mercy on my life? But this could just as easily backfire for me, and it could exact an even worse fate. I was truly at a loss for what to do. We are going to attempt to explain my situation. I would tell them the truth. Perhaps if I did, they'd understand my dilemma. Perhaps they think I'm from Kyoto as well. If I told them I'd only just arrived in Kyoto, they might lower their guard, or so I hoped. I didn't know anyone in Kyoto, and I'd only come to look for my father. I haven't even told them I'm a girl. The rest, perhaps, could wait, but I felt that it might be wise to tell them I was a girl. I took a deep breath and screamed loudly. "Excuse me, is anyone there?" After a few moments, the door slid open, and several faces appeared around the edges.
Well, you've got some balls. I don't know where I got must from. We've got you locked up and you think yelling will save you. All right, you called us. Here we go. Have you made up your mind about dying?
No, that's not it. I want you to hear me out.
It is unlikely we will spare you out of sympathy. As long as you understand, say what you wish. I sympathize with your awful luck. May you rest in peace.
A man should know when to accept his fate.
They all spoke as if they'd already consigned me to death. It was time to make my choice. I decided to tell them I wasn't a boy. Okay. This is new. As Saito turned to go, I rounded on Toudou to glare at him furiously.
Hey, what's up with you?
Earlier you said a man should know when to accept his fate. You don't think there's anything wrong with killing a man before hearing him out?
You ought to watch your mouth. Don't you get what's going on here? Maybe you should start acting like a man, okay? Accept your fate. We must do our duty.
But I'm not a man.
Yeah, right. You're telling me you're a girl?
Yes.
His look is like, oh shit.
Wait a minute.
Wait, so you're saying what?
Well, I can't say I'm surprised. There's something a bit ladylike about your profile.
How the hell were we supposed to know that? Girls aren't supposed to wear pants.
Girls may wear pants when training with swords, although it is rare to dress like a man when traveling alone, but perhaps it's for protection. Butterfly. I think I say that every time I see a butterfly, and I don't realize it until afterwards.
I see. I guess you have a point. Sorry about that.
Well, I'm glad that was cleared up.
Perhaps you do have a point. We ought to at least hear you out.
Judging by the calmness in Saito's demeanor, it seemed he was unsurprised by my attempt to dress like a boy. Back and forth. There I was, surrounded once again by the leaders of the Shinsengumi.
I noticed you were rather slim, and your features were far too soft to be a man's. But to think you were a lady this whole time.
Kondo was nodding his head repeatedly, as if he were agreeing with a very intelligent suggestion. For him to notice the softness of my features, it flattered me a bit. Nice. I have to say, when I was young, I think all through high school too, I could have pulled off dressing like a guy because I didn't have anything in the chest region. Nothing. I was like a size AA, the smallest you can get. That changed once I had my son, but
Once you know she's a girl, she really doesn't look like a boy at all, does she?
So we bound her and left her for the whole night? Oh dear. Well, she claims to be a girl, but it's not like we have any actual proof, right?
oh yeah, we do, honey. Proof? Proof? Really? Not obvious enough for you, huh? All right. Will you feel better if I strip her down?
No, you absolutely will not. To suggest such a thing is preposterous.
I just figured it was the quickest way to settle the question, but I won't force it.
Well, if you really are a girl, then killing you would just feel kinda wrong.
Why are you so naive? It doesn't matter if we have to kill her. She dies.
Exactly. However, her gender is irrelevant. Killing in general is wrong. We were organized to protect the citizens of Kyoto. We would ill serve the public good by murdering civilians in cold blood.
Yeah, but if this girl or boy is a threat to the peace, that's a horse of a different color.
The Shinsengumi had already suffered a very gruesome reputation in Kyoto. If rumors spread that their men were thirsty for blood, things weren't likely to go well for them. Kyoto would banish them, and with no one to protect the people, the city would erupt in chaos. Each of their members deeply understood the consequences of behaving rashly in these times. My apologies, but I took the liberty of checking through your belongings. It would appear you came all the way from Edo, by yourself. You didn't seem to have much. Some clothing, some pocket change, a few letters in this sword. One of the letters was from Ryojun Matsumoto, a shogunate-approved doctor. I assume you saw him? What is your purpose, Chizuru Yukimura? Oh my god, I couldn't say my own name, apparently. Chizuru Yukimura. The moment my name was spoken, the vibe in the room shifted immensely. Everyone wore a stunned expression, eyes wide, and no words were uttered in response until...
Wait, Hijikata, that name!
Hey now, this can't be a coincidence.
Now wait a moment. We only need to determine if you are a threat. Will you tell us your side of the story?
At Kondo's behest, I stood up to speak. My name is Chizuru Yukimura. Under the watchful eyes of the leaders, I sharply described how I came to face them. How I lived in Edo. How I'd come to Kyoto to find my father. How lonely the city felt before I arrived.
Oh, then you're from Edo as well, and you came all the way to Kyoto to find your father? So, who is your father?
My father is Kodo Yukimura.
So the dots are connected.
What are you talking about?
The handwriting within the letter does indeed match Kodo's, but to think you were Dr. Kodo's daughter.
You know my father? The silence was enough to tell me that the revelation of my parentage caused a pronounced change in their behavior.
So you've been withholding information from us?
Huh? What information are you talking about?
There is no point in lying to us now. Out with it! What the hell are you doing in Kyoto?
I just came to look for my father. I swear I don't know anything else.
You came to this city fully aware of what your father Kodo is doing?
I was only aware of my father being in Kyoto for his medical work, but I haven't seen him since last summer. That's all I know.
Hijikata, it may be better for us not to press because she may not know anything after all.
So what do you know about my father? Where is he right now? Please tell me. I'm going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.